Ever since the creation of my YouTube page, I knew that I was going to run into a dilemma. I am a massive hoop fan. I love all the nerdy little details, but I know that there's a lot of people out there that aren't necessarily interested in it. But I wanted to create the content for people out there like me that would go looking for it. My 1 motion versus 2 motion shooting video, it was actually the first video that I was able to really have a deep dive about the mechanics of shooting, something that I'm very passionate about. The art of shooting. How can I get better? Does it make a difference? What techniques matter? All this sort of stuff. And I ran into this problem when I released my video on the WNBA versus NBA wage gap. I was able to explore pay inequality, why there is a pay gap, and also ways that this gap can be closed. But it still begs the question, where does this content belong? And I think I've got the answer. I have created a Patreon page. The reason behind this was because there's a lot of content where I love to deep dive and go into the really nerdy technical aspects of the game that really just don't seem to make sense to be placed on YouTube. For $5 per month, you can join the home team, which is the name of my subscription, and you will receive exclusive voting power. This is going to be able to vote on which players I react to in future videos, as well as special content that you guys want to see. So if you want to have a little bit more control on the content that gets put out, well, you can always jump in the comments and let me know if there's a video you want to see. But you can have even more power with those exclusive voting options. Additionally, there will be behind the scenes footage. I will be adding some photos, some posts, as well as some videos about everything that goes on in the creation of these videos, as well as just the overall production development that I continue to make. I am continuing to strive and push to make these videos better, whether it's the editing, whether it's the quality of the overall production of the video, as well as some of the design stuff that goes behind. And I've got a lot of concepts that I'm really looking to dive deep into on this Patreon exclusive videos. Additionally, members of the home team will receive shout outs at the end of all my videos. So there's going to be a new splash up that comes through, and if you're part of the home team, mate, you're getting a shout out from your boy. Also, I will be providing those on there extra opportunity for fan requests. So you're able to engage with me a little bit more and let me know if there's a specific type of video. You're just going to have that one step ahead of those that are currently subscribed on my YouTube channel. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to be providing content on YouTube. I absolutely am. I'm not taking away from the content that is on YouTube. However, I will be providing exclusive content on Patreon for my members. Now, what exactly can you expect to see? Well, it's funny you should ask. It's like you read my mind, bro. Far out. Like, it's like we know each other, man. Far out. It's like, oh my God, we got the connection, huh? You know what? It's probably better if I just show you instead of explaining it to you. All right. Here it is. I personally use social media a tremendous amount, specifically Instagram and Facebook, to gather information to help me get better. With technology growing leaps and bounds in the last couple of years, specifically with AI being a very hot topic at the moment, I wanted to ask, can AI help me get better at basketball? Well, let's see. I'm a big fan of technology, and I wanted to see specifically how AI could help me. And one of the things that I thought would be a fantastic tool would be ChatGPT. Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar with ChatGPT, it's basically like a question and answer forum. You ask it some questions and it will generate responses based on context, previous questions that you've asked, and then will basically give you answers in a conversation format. So it's kind of creepy in that way, but it's also really informative because I'm in the middle of my basketball off season and I wanted to take my findings and develop a 3-week training program. So training twice a week for a total of 3 weeks. Basically track how I went. There was a lot of information that I got from these questions, but the 3 things that really jumped out at me were that I needed to introduce new routines to create challenge and promote growth. I needed game situation focused skills, and I needed to have progressive skills in my training program. So I needed to really focus on developing the training to go further and further and further as I went along. What I did was to make my life a little bit easier. I do have a ball return. I literally just bought it from Kmart. It was really cheap. I highly recommend if you can get one and if you're training by yourself like what I do a lot of the time. These literally are so good for you to just get a lot of shots out in a minimized time. But I would stay in the one spot and I would start off with my 5 makes from jump shots. It was really exciting to introduce this whole new training plan because it's a little bit different than what I normally do. It was exceptionally frustrating. I was definitely outside of my comfort zone at the very beginning because I was doing drills that I had basically created for this. The screen action drill I had never done before. I had done components similar to it, but not to the degree that I was doing. It was quite difficult to introduce new movements and focusing on trying to get to that number that I was looking at. I was not really caring so much about how many shots I was taking. I knew that I was going to record the numbers and I was thinking about it like, you know what, if I get an improvement in accuracy, great. But the idea is to just get better. And so I wanted to see whether or not ChatGPT is going to help me get better. So focusing on the fluidity of the shots, focusing on the fluidity of the actions, and really getting the shots down right and the movements right. Did ChatGPT help me get better at basketball? That right there is a sneak peek into my ChatGPT challenge video. Listen, that video alone, I think it took me about 3 months to put together. And it was a lot of fun, but you're missing out on a lot of details. So make sure you go ahead, you become a member of the home team on Patreon. Link is in the description for you to go ahead and check out. But listen, I'm going to continue to push the message by spreading love and awareness and knowledge about this beautiful game of basketball. And until I see you next time, make sure you're looking after yourself, you take care, and be safe. All right, peace.